Have you ever felt lonelier with people than when you're actually alone? You're smiling, you're talking, you're laughing. But deep down, it feels like no one sees you. And you start to wonder, is it just me? Why do I feel this way when everything seems normal? Let me say this clearly. You're not broken. You're just honest. Because loneliness isn't about how many people are around. It's about whether you feel like you exist in the room at all. You ever leave a group hangout and it looks great on the outside? Fun conversations, good pictures, good vibes. But then you get home and it's like something's missing. That emptiness, that's not random. That's what real loneliness feels like. And it's not because you were alone. It's because you couldn't show up as you. You know how it goes. How have you been? So busy lately. OMG, no way. LOL, right? Lots of talking, but zero connection. You walk away from the conversation thinking, did we actually say anything that mattered? You ever go out and come home feeling drained? Not because it was long, but because you had to be on the whole time. Smile, be funny, be interesting, hide the mess, filter the truth. And inside, a little voice whispers, I don't even know who I was today. You met all those people, but none of them met you. You open Instagram and see someone's 6 a.m. green juice. They've already worked out, journaled, and meditated, and you just woke up feeling like a sock. You scroll past people crushing their careers, running marathons, living soft life aesthetics, and suddenly your own life feels small, unimpressive, not enough. But here's the thing, comparison doesn't connect us. It distances us, and loneliness lives in that space in between. There's a name for this. In psychology, it's called emotional incongruence, when how you feel on the inside doesn't match what you show on the outside. The bigger that gap, the more your brain registers it as danger. Over time, your mind says, the real me isn't acceptable. So you shrink, you edit, you disappear, and eventually, you stop trying. Hiding your real feelings while smiling is like being hungry, but telling everyone you're full. People might think you're polite, but deep down, you're starving. When we feel lonely, our instinct is to surround ourselves with more people. We book more plans, join more chats, go to more events. But instead of feeling better, we feel more tired, more disconnected. Because loneliness isn't solved by quantity, it's solved by authenticity. Forget the 50 people who like your posts. What you need is just one person who gets it. Someone you can text and say, I'm not okay today, just wanted to say that. 10 honest minutes with the right person can be more healing than 10 hours of small talk. Try this in your next conversation. Honestly, I've felt kind of off lately. Things look fine, but I don't feel fine. That one sentence, it can open a door. Perfection builds walls. Honesty builds bridges. Instead of how's it going, try what's been on your mind lately? What's something you haven't told anyone yet? Real connection doesn't come from answers. It starts with better questions. You're not too much. You're not broken. You're just a human waiting for a space where your full, unedited self is allowed to breathe. Loneliness doesn't always come from being alone. It comes from not being able to be you. So start there. Give yourself permission to show up with the mess, with the feelings, with the truth. Because the moment you let the real you exist is the moment loneliness starts to loosen its grip.